Hello everyone, welcome to the show People's Opinion. This is a show where every ordinary person gets to speak and express their point of view. Today we are going to speak on sexual harassment against women with Sunaina Khatri and Pratyusha Roy Seelam. Sunaina Khatri is pursuing CA and she is doing articleship. Pratyusha Roy Seelam, she is also CA pursuing student and also she is outspoken. Let me tell you guys, Pratyusha was our first sketch, which we haven't released because of some technical reasons. That video got stuck. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining the today's podcast. And how are you doing?
It's a pleasure. We are good. You?
I'm doing good too. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's a pleasure to join you again.
thank you so much. So the thing is, for the benefits of our viewers, can you tell us what is sexual harassment is?
Yeah, I think according to me, sexual harassment is a situation in which an employee is forced into giving into another employee's sexual demands by the threat of losing a job opportunity or a promotion or any other job benefit. And it also inflicts a great psychological harm on the part of the employee who went through all of that, and it violates the employee's most basic right of dignity and freedom. And sexual harassment is prohibited in 2000, and an employer is held responsible for all such activities which takes place in his company.
Yeah.
I would like to continue that by saying that it doesn't stop just there. Sexual harassment also includes physical contact and initiatives. It also includes sexual remarks, eve teasing. I think it includes even when somebody says they keep bothering someone for no reason at all. That also includes sexual harassment. Not sexual, but you can say harassment too.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like recently, there was a gruesome Disha rape and murder incident happened. And daily we come across these kind of incidents. And what do you feel when you realize that this kind of incident, a fellow woman had went through such violence? What do you feel on that?
It's soul shattering, to be honest. Every time this kind of news, it just ruins us all from inside. That how can something so bad be happening? It's not only that the girl goes through all the pain, it's also the family. But it's not just pain that she goes through. Many times there are injuries and even death. And I hope that my condolences to their family, and may her soul rest in peace. It's
Yeah.
it's also the physical pain, and the thing which we do not acknowledge is the mental pain and the mental health which gets affected. So firstly, she goes through a lot of trauma, and then she doesn't want to talk to anyone. Depression also, and then anxiety, uh, and PTSD, which is also the full form of which is post-traumatic stress disorder, in which she gets the nightmares, all the flashbacks, and every time someone else who she knows touches her or even tries to speak, then she goes through the same thing. It's just a spiral which doesn't end. It keeps coming and coming, and it doesn't end there. And she goes through all of that. And to be honest, it's not always the strangers that cause this. Sometimes it's also the people we know, people we
No,
trust.
yeah.
And they do this just because they think that they have the power to do this. And I
Yeah,
think that
exactly.
should really, really stop already.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel obviously it feels pathetic when you hear such incidences, horrible and gruesome incidences. Yeah, I think it's been my first experience with such incident was the Nirbhaya one. It obviously it has shocked the entire nation, followed by Kathua and then Disha. Obviously my heart goes out to that girl who went through so much and their families, and I don't want any such thing to again happen with any other girl again.
Yeah, we acknowledge that a lot of violence against women is perpetuated by men. How do you like the reality is you need to live in the same society, same world. How do you come to this terms with this reality?
It's it's very it's even harder to get outside of this home to face all this harsh world. We're always surrounded by this thing, and we're also surrounded by people who make us feel safe and people who we can trust. And also, we cannot always be surrounded by people who can always who will always protect us, or when this kinds of incidents happen. I think it's time we become strong and confident enough to protect our own selves. And for that, we need to, you need to get yourself trained in self defense or any other martial arts classes,
Mm.
Also,
I
I
feel.
think what we should do is we should live the way we want to live. We should not
Yeah.
limit ourselves due to others, what others think, or what somebody will do to us or say to us. We shouldn't stop there. But what we should also do is raise our voices. We should, whenever we see something that is not okay, which is wrong, we should just speak against it. We should try to stop it. And if I would just want to say that if you see it, call it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's nice. Yeah. So
that's
today
nice.
let me tell you, today the world is globalizing. As a part of it, we have to interact with the opposite sex, and there is a thin line. In my point of view, there is a thin line. If we don't cross that line, we become your means a girl's friend or a brother. However, if we cross that line, we become molesters. Uh, but the reality is we don't know the what is that thin line is, because the Indian culture is getting under influence of Western culture, and some of the Western factors have crept into Indian youth. So in this context, can you tell us what is that exactly thin line is?
Uh, See, what we always do is just we as in normal people that whenever we build a relationship with someone, we talk to them, we take it a notch higher every time there's something that we expect from them. There's a development, and that development expects us to take it a notch higher. But the problem is we don't take it a notch up higher by speaking to them or talking out the things that we should do, but instead we act on it. We
Yeah,
just act on it without the consent, and that is when it comes into picture that this person is not right, and this person is doing something wrong, which I don't feel comfortable or safe around them. So I think it's the intimacy which is the thin line. So whenever there's this so how much intimate we get with the other person, that defines the thin line. So that's that.
so
Yeah, I feel, of course, there is a thin line, and every boy or girl should know. And of course, they will come to know based upon the kind of relationship they are sharing with any girl, and there are many kinds of relationship, be it a mother, wife, or a sister, and every relationship has its own thin line. And unless and until he respects the woman, and unless he won't cross the line, and he automatically knows his limit as well as the line.
okay, I mean, are there like any stopping points, if he's crossing the line, the woman can say, don't cross the line, okay? But when that permission is given by the woman till to that extent where he can approach till there, till approaching that line, if woman is friendly enough till that line, after that or before that, how can he just judge that line? That the question is, yeah.
I think this is where we are lacking. We are not all vocal about it, what we want and what we don't want. We just expect others to know it all. So I think we should be more vocal about it. And the boy or the girl, anyone, whatever they think and expect, they should just tell it and just keep
Yeah,
it out in front. And that is how we will know, because there is no other way. Because we just can't imagine something and then think that the person might be thinking this or that. We can't just assume things. We have to just ask them. That is, I think, the only way.
so keeping
Yeah.
things transparently helps us to what at where extent we are, not
Yes.
hiding the feelings or anything, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
And if
yeah.
if
Exactly.
a if a person is polite enough and they keep the things in front normally and politely, I don't think any girl should have a problem. Instead of going for creepy ways, just go for the normal way. And I think if it is a yes, then it will be, and if no, if it's a no, then you know what to do. You just have to face that
Yeah,
no.
yeah. It does. If you cannot handle that, no, please don't do horrible things like acid attack and other rape incidents, because it's really that's not acceptable.
Men are physically stronger than women. What role do you think this physical strength going to help him or serve him in violence against women? And if you feel that this physical strength is significant factor in sexual harassment against women, how we can encounter it?
Yes, men are physically very much stronger than women, and we cannot do anything about that because they are born like that. They are meant to be stronger, so they are stronger, and it doesn't mean they physically or sexually harass a woman. And from the olden days itself, men, because of the physical strength of the women, or sorry, men actually, they are they are meant to do hard and core things, and women are usually customized to their homes, doing household work and motherhood and nurturely things. So from that age itself, from that era itself, women are, they think women are weak and only bounded to their household activities. Yeah, so till now it is being continued, and just because they are strong enough and capable enough, it doesn't mean they can sexually violate or harass a woman. I mean, they've got many better things to do in their life and show their skills and strengths there.
I agree to your point, man. Yeah.
The strength does not. The strength definitely plays a vital role, but that doesn't give somebody a right to be violent to someone just because they're a little more stronger. That doesn't mean that. And also, it's not that women are not stronger. They are stronger. Just that they choose to keep quiet just because it's the society they fear. It's the blame that they fear, and it just goes that way. So I think strength does play a vital role, but women are strong too. You can't underestimate anyone.
Okay. Every time the discussion on violence against women or sexual violence against women rise up, men accuse women that they are exciting them by wearing Western outfits, and but women don't agree to it and argue that it's a freedom of expression. In this argument, where do you stand? Like,
I totally agree, and I think saying that they excite them just by wearing short clothes or Western clothes, that is just an excuse. It's I don't think it's the clothes, it's the mentality, it's the way of thinking, it's the way people react. And the most important thing here is respect. If the person respects them, they will never think wrong about them. Or if they think that the person is lower than them, then they will obviously they want to they think that they have the power to do anything, because just because the other person is in lower terms, just because the other person is lower than them.
In your previous question, you said that we live in a globalized world. And in this 21st globalized century, where both men and women are, share equal responsibilities and equal opportunities, and have, broad and modern mindset, it shouldn't be a matter to them to tell them that what should we wear and how should we speak, because it's their choice. Okay, and when people tell women excite men to rape them, and that's their ill mentality and their lack of education. I mean, जब आप बोलते हो कि लड़कियां छोटे कपड़े पहन के आपको एक्साइट करती है, I mean, घर पे तो आपकी बीवी आपको एक्साइट नहीं करती है, लेकिन बाहर लड़कियों को देख के आप एक्साइट हो जाते हो. I mean, this is the highest level of hypocrisy, I feel.
I
And
totally agree.
the point is, we are in the 21st century, and we've been using like what 18th century excuses.
Exactly.
I mean, what is even going on?
Yeah.
It's a lame excuse. Even I feel like, it depends on the man's attitude and his mentality. if he wanted to do it, like the woman might wearing fully, like it even happens with the person who wears burqa also, like
Burqa,
I just don't want to
exactly.
take
Yeah.
that word, sorry. It's a dress code, like I'm not taking any religion here, sorry, but like if she's totally covered also, if his mind is like speaking something wrong, then he'll do it. Yeah,
Yes, it
that's the
doesn't
thing.
depend on what a person wears. It's just in their head, whatever they think.
uh, Movies these days aren't picturized without an item song. The dark side of it is they are objectifying the woman, and I feel they are giving a wrong message to the youth. From the thing is, the line between real life and the real life is being buried. In this context, do you attribute sexual harassment against women, objectification of women in movies?
Yeah, I think I feel women are objectified in such item songs and those wrong messages provided or portrayed, but all they do is just, I think, just for entertainment purposes and to increase their box office collections. And also, some movies have this censored content, and they are even censored movies, and they have this particular age limit. And but they still, but the some still somehow the youth manage to see such movies online or on the internet. And in films, women are not portrayed as human beings. I'm talking about the old, like 18th or 19th century movies. They're not portrayed as human beings, but as an object, which is an item, for sexual satisfaction for male gaze and men's desires. And especially Bollywood, it is considered as more influential in shaping the behavior and mindsets in India. And men's perception of women is being guided by the portrayal of the films, which the kind of movies being made in Indian cinema, and also the people in our country view a lot of movies, and they're also viewed by every class of the Indian society. And for example, when you take this dirty picture ka example, that has a lot of sexual content, and that was also produced by female producer being Ekta Kapoor. And this film has, maybe it might have earned a lot of record, it might have broke a lot of records and made a lot of money. But there are also a number of women right organizations which have protested against the objectification and exploitation of women in this film. And I feel women are sexually objectified in the Indian films, to with some extent, and to some extent, read my words, to some extent they are responsible for sexual harassment and rape, violence against women in India. But some of the movies are exceptions, like Dangal, Sand Ki Aag, Toilet, and Thappad. These are some of the exceptional movies within the recent times which are being made. And I feel a constructive image of women should have to be portrayed through these kind of films or cinema. And especially the female producers who are coming in line and should have to focus more on positive representation of women and women concerning issues in the films.
Okay.
Actually, the issue here is that it's not only men. There are also women who are objectifying women. It's not only the men. So we can see that women are asking other women to do these things. And usually it's like, even just take for you and me, common people as example, that whenever we want to go to watch a movie, we have had a stressful week, like everything, work and all, and we just want to
Yes.
watch a nice movie and be relaxed and have our stress relieved. So what do we want? We just want some good entertainment. And most of the time, actually, we all relate entertainment as a few good songs and a few bad jokes and a few good jokes too. And if you actually see, these bad jokes and good jokes and item songs, these are what are making the box offices hit. This is where these kind of movies which are entering the 100 crore club, and not movies like Son Churiya or any other movie, for example, Thappad, as Pratyusha mentioned. So,
Yeah.
women are still objectified, but the point is, it's not on their own that people do this. I mean, the producers and the directors, they don't do it on their own. It's that the public which they demand. Like for example, just imagine if in a movie there's no this item song, people would be like, what a movie, dude, I just slept through it. There was no item song, there was no fun in that movie, I wouldn't watch it. It goes like that. So I think and the directors and producers, they give us what we ask for, and this is what we were asking for so
Ask.
fast. So I think
Exactly.
we should minimize it. Like we should stop seeing these kind of movies and give hits to movies like Tamasha, hit to movies like Tamasha and Sand Ki Aankh and Thappad and the other movies which do not
Yeah.
objectify women to be specific.
Yeah. So you are saying
Yeah.
that, like, what we wanted to show, that's what they are portraying. That's what, right?
Exactly, and they are earning from
Exactly.
it.
Yeah. So yeah. So in our traditional families, the word sex has seen as taboo, and consequently, the sex education has taken a back seat. And what do you think? Is there any part which is plays, like, sex education plays a role to makes women safe?
Yeah, I feel
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely, and I feel sex education is still a taboo in India and in all of the traditional families. And the only way to eradicate this problem is to include and no, to actually teach these children from their small age, and to include it in the school's subject-wise curriculum. I think that can make a difference. When you talk about that to children, they will go and again talk about that to their parents, which indirectly wants parents as well to speak out and speak out about those topics and explain children what that is in the society which we are living in. And I think sex education nowadays is really important because it's tell you what is safe and unsafe touch. And it is very important in teaching young people about these emotional and social aspects of sexuality, and it is more simple than a biology lesson. And I feel sex education's knowledge and skills are needed to safeguard their own health as well as others' health. When you talk about sex education, it will help young minds to develop positive values about rights and gender norms and gender equality and dignity. And it will also teach that what consent is and how consent is important while you proceed in such activities. I feel it is really important to include these sex education curriculum in schools these days. And last but not the least, the Me Too movement, hashtag Me Too movement, which where women came out speaking about their sexual harassment which has happened with them, and seeing one woman and many other women has also come out in the protest of that. I think if i think people are now coming up taking all those sexual harassment things. I think if in their time they had this sex education thing in their school, they would have complained it then, and they would not have uh, come out after so many decades, when there is no proof at all. So I think sex
Yeah.
education should be implemented in schools right from the smaller kids,
Yes,
from the small
exactly.
age.
Exactly, I agree.
Yeah.
Also, in the name of sexual education, sex education, what we face is during the ninth class, we just go through a few chapters which relate to these topics, which don't really clearly tell us what exactly is how a student should understand. But they are like too technical according to me. They just are for the sake of having a chapter, that's all. It's not like true education to them. It's not like they're really teaching them. It's just for the sake of having a chapter, yeah, that we have it in our curriculum, that's all. And this needs to change, and I think it is changing these days a lot.
Yeah, these days it is changing, and somehow parents are also taking a step to educate their children, because they don't want their children to suffer the same what they have gone through. So I feel it is changing a little bit. So yeah. So like, let me ask you a question. We have raised age of a woman from 18, marital age of a woman from 18 to 21 to reduce the population. But the reality is, like, a girl and a boy get mature by the age of 16. Okay, and to get married, and they have to wait at least 3 to 5 years to get married, and till then they have to struggle with their play of hormones. Okay, in my point of view, I feel like the time the by the time they reach their marital age, and because of all these things, as like we raised the age of women to reduce population, but the thing is this in simultaneously the violence against women has also increased because of raising, we are just looking at the population, but the thing is by raising that, the simultaneously the cases also have been increased. What do you think we can do with it? And can you tell us how can we concern, we are concerned about the population, so to reduce the population as well as to put a full stop to this sexual harassment against women?
Honestly, I don't think that age really plays a big role here, because when you see that there are news coming saying that even a fifth class student did this and that, and he had raped someone like that, these kind of news keep coming. Like, it doesn't stop. I don't think age is the thing here. Uh, when it comes to population, yeah, I think we are trying to control the population and it is fine, but more education is needed that why the population needs to stop increasing. That is really what needs to be taught, and also the upbringing. So you said that when the that one people mature at the age of 13, 14, and then they have to wait till the marriage age to marry actually someone and do this. It's not necessary, because many people are in relationships, they have their time, and uh, we all have we do what we have to do on the correct age, on the right age. Marriage is not really important, I think, according to me. And
Yeah.
also the main point is the upbringing, how we raise our kids, how a boy is raised in the house. For example, I don't know how many houses face this, but I have seen people where it happens that the boys, whatever they do, it's just termed as that वो तो घर का लड़का है, it's okay, let him do whatever he wants to do. तू तो बड़ी है, तू तो समझ. क्यों समझूं मैं? Is it like only that
Yeah.
we are supposed to tell only the girls and the boys supposed to taught something like जो कर रहा है करने दो? That doesn't work that way. मतलब आज तो सिर्फ उसने कुछ बोला है मुझे, आज तो सिर्फ उसने कुछ मतलब कुछ गलत ही बोला होगा, but in
Yes.
future when you don't stop this thing, in the future it might increase to further things, right? This is what we are showing, this is what we are teaching them, this is how we are teaching them to respect women of the house. Then how are they supposed to respect the women outside? I don't understand this. So this is the main thing, I
Yes.
think, which should be imbibed from the really young age, and we should not let it go just because he's a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with this. It should start from within your house only. When you're not teaching your son to how to how to treat your sister or his wife, and how do you expect him to treat other women outside? So it should
Yeah.
start from their own house itself.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, like this is for this is for family or upbringing. But what role do you think our legal system is doing, putting their efforts to reduce sexual harassments against women?
There are many rules, actually. There are many rules. And even after the 2012 Delhi rape case, Nirbhaya rape case, actually, there were many more sections added after that case. So, can I? Actually, um, so one of those is firstly, there are she teams. So she teams are very helpful when it comes to helping women around us. They just come to rescue, I feel so. And I think I've not have a personal experience where they have come to rescue me. But whenever I called, they gave me a number of their senior, and they said that whenever you have a problem, please call this man. And I was like, yeah, fine. And then Also, there are people working with she teams. So whenever you have some problem, you can just approach them, and they will surely help you out. I'm very sure of that. Because there was an incident which happened with me where a guy was constantly following me, and I didn't know what to do. I had no idea. So what I did was, and I just let it go for 1 day, 2 day. That's fine. But every day, every freaking day, he wouldn't just leave it, and I just got very irritated, and I was feeling very confident and not right. So I just approached one person. He was like my cousin. He still is my cousin, and he at that point he was working with she team. So he instantly came to me. Firstly I said this to my mom, and then my mom helped me out, saying that we should talk to him, the cousin. So he came out with another colleague of his, and then he asked me to write a letter, and he said he would help me out and everything. And so I gave the letter. But after a time, that guy just stopped following because of few reasons. I don't. Okay. So he just did that. He stopped following, and so I just had to call it off. I asked him like let it be. The thing has been settled. Now he won't approach me. But I think it. I shouldn't have called it off, because it just has happened to me this time. What if it happens to some other girl? What if she is
Yeah.
not able to say?
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
so that, and that was during inter, so that was like 7 years ago or something like that. Been a while.
Yeah.
There are a few sections where there's a punishment as well as fine. So I'll just read it out. And there's section 354A, which includes sexual favors, showing pornography, physical contact. In that case, the pros. Oh God. Hmm. In that case, there is a jail of 1 to 3 years and a fine, or a fine, or both of the above. Then there's section 354B, in which if a person forces a woman to undress, then the jail is from 3 years to 7 years, or a fine, or both. Then there's 354 subsection D, section 354 subsection D, in which if there is something happening without the knowledge of the person, and if they are stalking them, then it will be considered as sexual harassment, and the jail will be from 3 to 5 years, or fine, or both. And then there's section 375. All these sections are from IPC, Indian Penal Code. 375. Penetration of any private part into any 375. Penetration of any private part into any other person's private part is here the jail can be up minimum 7 years and can be extended up to lifetime, and in aggravated cases it can be, the minimum period can be 10 years and can be extended up to lifetime. And then there's section 376, in which if in sexual harassment, if a person causes injury to other person, and due to that injury, if there's a death, then that person is supposed to pay compensation to the victim, and the punishment will be a jail of minimum 20 years, which can be extended up to lifetime. And in case of gang rape, every person will be held liable, and 20 years to each, or which can be extended to lifetime, and they all are supposed to pay compensation to the victim. And also, in case the victim is not able to themselves report the crime, any person who is known to them, who is very close to them, they can also go ahead and place a report for them. They can file a complaint for them. Then there's section 499. If someone morphs a picture and shares them in order with an intention to defame them, Then there is a punishment of 2 years or fine or both. And then there's section 503, if a woman refuses to sexual favors and faces threats of for physical or reputational harm, then the punishment is of 2 years or fine or both. So these were the few sections which I just read out and which can be helpful to many people. And I think this is the biggest step. I think the 2012 case was the one which had made everything come up. These were the sections which came up, but still I don't think it's much useful because
Yeah.
the legal proceedings take so much time that people just feel that it's just a section. It won't cause any harm. It's just there for being there. That's all. It won't be acted upon, and so it takes time. So that is why the belief in these sections goes a little down. But then recently we got the justice for the 2012 case, and that was a little in the sense it was a little empowering, and it was very helpful. But I think the court needs to act as fast as they can.
Yeah, I feel our Indian judicial system is very, very lenient and very. It's like it's very. The justice is being given, very late, where people lose the hope of even getting justice. When you see in other countries where just I'll mention few of the countries which have very stricter laws. For example, in 2008, National Crime Records Bureau annual report of rapes in India were 33,356, and the first country which where a lot of sexual harassment happens is USA, followed by Brazil, and India is in third place. And yeah, some of the countries they are. The sexual harassment and violence is taken very seriously. For example, in China, there is a capital punishment for rape or sexual violence, and in Afghanistan, they are shot in head with the bullet, and within 4 days, and that too within 4 days of when a person commits a rape, within 4 days, justice is being given. I mean, this is too fast. And when we look into our country, it's been like 7 or 8 years. In case of Nirbhaya, it's been like 8 years to get the justice, and hats off to her mother for waiting these many long years, just in the hope of getting justice and believe in our legal jurisdiction system. And in UAE, it's you rape and you die within 7 days after being proven guilty. And in Saudi Arabia, there is totally Islamic rules and laws, and literally stones are thrown at him till his death. So these kind of when you hear these kind of punishments, only the think you don't even want to think about such doing such cruel or gruesome activities on any other girl. So I think our legal system should also come out with with more stricter and punishable laws. Right now, it is very difficult, as Sunana said, it is very difficult to even get justice. We need to there are a lot of legal proceedings, and we need to wait a long time for justice so I guess our legal system should be should be more accountable, and it should be easy for the people to come and share whatever to come and get justice. Yeah, I guess she teams and all it has been everything has been introduced recently. And apart from she teams, there are also human rights and women rights organization which will help women to support when she is not able to get the financial assistance, or when she is not confident enough to speak what kind of violence she had gone through. And there is also this transportation system, especially for women, which our government has come up with. And whenever there is also this thing where the government has told the companies, advised the companies to, whenever there is a night shift for any woman, they are providing them cab facilities. And even though they are at night, they are coming back to their homes, and there is no cab facility provided, they have given this number of the police control department where you just have to make a call and they will come to your place and safely drop you at your doorstep. I think these are the more of these measures should be introduced so that women feel safer and no such incidents will be repeated again.
So I feel what I feel is like, the thing is, if that incident happened, these kind of rules and regulations are from other countries, but the thing is, when it comes to our own country, the things dynamics have changed, and people also accuse the victim, not the person who is accused one,
Yes,
and
and he
parents also
just gets away. He just
yeah,
gets away.
exactly. I don't know, we gave grace to those people who have done the wrong thing. And somewhere I feel every parent is not like Nirbhaya's parents, to be frank, because she
Exactly.
had hope and she had patience and she fought for the justice. But in other things, as you told me the mechanisms which you cheating and all, your incident, I'm glad that someone is from your family who is doing that job. I'm that's glad.
No, only
But
that in that point they were doing. It was just for a small time.
yeah, I want to share a incident, an incident where my friend had went through such such thing. So at that time what happened, the C team has asked that girl to just make talk with their parents. Okay, because it's dominating her, making her, putting her into the trouble, as if as complaining about her to their parents, if she is able to come approach the she team, then she can you can talk to her and solve the thing. But that time also they are asking to come and they are asking her to make talk with the the parents and all. So I don't know why they do, some of them are very good, they help us, but on the other hand, they, if they come under power pressure or money, or if they get bribed, then the victim also get accused at at the same time, they try to judge the victim and make her as accused one. So this thing I feel which have to change. And the question is the what are the other practical mechanisms you feel that make you feel much stronger, much safe in the society?
I think, as I already mentioned, we cannot always be protected by other persons. It is very important for us to protect ourselves when no one is there with us to protect us. It is very important for women nowadays to feel confident and strong. And also you have to engage in activities like self defenses and martial arts. Only through this you can protect your own selves, I feel.
Yeah,
And just yeah, and talking about she teams, and I feel very bad with the thing which happened to your friend. Actually, it is very difficult, to open up for some people, not all, to open up with in front of your parents. And without opening up to her parents, she directly trusted she teams, and she went to them, and they literally want to talk to their parents. I think that's not done. And she teams also, when a rape is done, they're only active for like about 1 or 2 months after the rape is done. After that, that team doesn't even exist, I feel.
The point
yeah,
is, the main problem here is that we all of us, we only raise our voices when there is a very big act that has happened, very gruesome, something very gruesome. And if there's something, any other rape or any other incident, we don't all go on marches and everything. There's only for a few, very few incidents that this happens. So it just takes, every time it takes a big incident to happen for all of our eyes to open.
Exactly.
yeah,
So the problem here is, we shouldn't be acting just on a few incidents. Every incident should be given its importance. We all
Yeah.
should raise our voices against every incident.
Actually I am
Yeah.
scared of, like, I'm scared because, like, the in like, these kind of incidents are getting, like, normalized, like, we are talking.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm literally scared of, like, the like, as if we are talking, like, going to a park, or, like, going to a movie, as if like that it's very common, as like, we are rape has become very common in our daily life. It shouldn't happen.
Exactly.
We don't have any fear towards, like, those kind of cases. Like, when they, like, the accusations also on the government, and I don't know from how, like, they start accusing movies, or, like, film stars, who, like, they take advantage of it. The one who comes to the towards camera and talk, they don't talk for justice, like, they later they ask for justice, but first they wanted to take their grudge, or, like, some personal agenda they take, and as, like, as a sympathy they show off, as if they are talking behalf of that
The
victim.
other person.
Yeah, so I feel that this has to change, like, the fear should come up, because in Nirbhaya's case, I don't feel no one got scared of that, because everyone got a confident that, like, if at all, if I rape someone, like, whatever, like, most probably what happens, ज़्यादा तो ज़्यादा क्या होगा, like, I may go to jail, like, they, if I have money, my papa will, like, take me out of that case. That kind of a confidence
Yeah.
which is, like, growing, we need to cut off that,
Exactly.
like,
Exactly. Yeah, this has
that's
actually happened also. I think in Kathua rape case, I guess you have strong political connections and you're even out of the jail in 1 hour or something. I think these all incidents should stop, and police and other our legal system should be like should not encourage all these activities. I mean, no other influencer, no other political parties can come in between of justice on its way.
yeah. So what can we, like, what mechanisms, like, we can ask someone, like, or else just we need to, like, self prepared, like, by training ourselves, or, like, that is the only way, or there are any other rules which need to be changed.
I think when you talk about rules, I think when you talk about rules, there comes a lot of rules. For example, when all of this a woman goes through all of this things, obviously she will encounter some mental issues such as depression and all. So instead of leaving her on her health, or she should be addressed, she should be given good mental therapy and all. And also in many of the rape cases, alcohol is the main reason for them to do such incidents. And I think there should be a restriction on usage of alcohol, and the restriction of persons of using it, and it should be increased to the age of 30. And also there should be a control on media. For example, the pornography site should be banned. And also the item songs which you said, the
Yes.
movies and also the dramas which people portray, which the industry portrays, it should not portray that way, which influences youth to do all such things. And also marriage. And I feel if you want your sexual needs to get satisfied, you should ask your parents to get yourself married, but it doesn't mean you can do such incidents on other women. And talking about law enforcement, the stricter laws should be implemented at every level, and new legislation should be also implemented. And talking about gender sensitization, also parents and schools, teachers, everyone need to support and also teach students on these sensitive issues. And and remove the stigma or taboo, whatever is existing still in the society. And last but not the least, the education and employment also plays a major role. You need to educate about sex education, and you need to keep a good code of conduct at the employment or workplace areas, I feel. So these are the things which you need to or the rules which the government should introduce.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, okay, how do you like, how do you wish men should behave with you so that you feel more safe in the society?
Mm, See, Can I actually I wanted to speak on the previous question. How can we avoid? So
Okay.
I think according to me there are three things which also can be implemented in addition to what Pratyusha
Yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah. Please, please.
So first thing, what when the other person is doing something, they should always think first that what if they were on the opposite side? What if it
Yeah,
were happening to them? What would be their reaction? So I think that can be like a awakening, a mental awakening that they shouldn't be doing this. And second thing is, more women should come up and support other women, because this is the most important thing. When women don't support other women,
women.
then how can you expect others to support them? So more women should
Exactly.
come up. Nowadays it is happening, and women do support women. I think no one is there who can understand a woman other than the other
A
woman.
woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
The third thing is respect. We should all matlab, we should encourage others, and even at home, even at every other place, to respect each other, because when we do not respect the other person, that is when we can think of doing anything to them, when we think
Yes.
low of them, and when we think that it is okay to do anything with them. So this is these three things are very important. And
Important. Yeah.
lastly, consent. If there's no
Yeah.
consent, then there shouldn't be anything happening, because a no really means a no.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
No
I
means
agree to
no.
this. No, yes, yes. That's literally yes. Yeah. How do you wish men behave with you so that you feel more secure or safe in the society?
I think we all want respect, and I just want to be acknowledged for who I am. And people shouldn't expect me to be someone else or say what they want me to say. Uh, and they shouldn't. Also, the other point is, people shouldn't think that people shouldn't think low of me just because I'm not I'm of the other gender. And I think all I want to truly feel is safe and carefree. Uh, I think that's all.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with what also Rena has said. I think respect is very important. Unless and until you respect me, I cannot feel safe with you. I cannot trust you. When you respect me, I feel that you care for me. I feel that I can be safe with you. I feel this
Yeah.
is the thing.
So yeah, like all said and done in the context of sexual harassments against women, like can you tell me what kind of a society you dream of?
Yeah, I think women just want to feel safe, welcoming, and they just want a harass-free environment. That's it. That's all that we ask for. We don't have really big demands or anything. We just want to feel safe and carefree.
Exactly. We wanted to be safe, and we want you to keep us safe. And at the same time, the society we dream of is that we don't want us to be we don't want people or other gender to treat us as weak or something. We want our equal rights as well, and we don't want people, just to judge us on the way the way whatever we wear, on the way we speak. And we also don't want, we want our place in the society, and also equal respect that people give to a man, we should also give the same kind of respect to a woman. I think that's what is more important.
Also, one thing that I want in our society to change is that the blame thing. We Whenever something happens, we all go to blame uh, the girl who is going through all of this. We just directly jump on it, saying that you must have done something, you must have worn short clothes and everything.
Yes,
It's the
yes, yes.
blame thing. And meanwhile that we are blaming the girl, meanwhile the person who is actually the predator, he just goes away just like that, freely. He's just free to live his life, whereas the girl lives with that tension, with the trauma
Yes.
of going through it all. And
Exactly.
on that above, she also has to take the blame of everything that has happened. Like, it wasn't that person who did it, it was her who did it. They just make her feel that it was her fault,
Her
when
fault.
when
Yes.
in real it wasn't, when it
Yeah,
wasn't.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that
Yes.
I
really
agree.
really needs to change.
What I feel like, what kind of a society I dream of is like, I don't want this topic to rise again. I just don't want to
Exactly.
talk about
Yeah.
this kind of topics.
This again.
This is the society, like, where shouldn't someone protect someone, or some laws should be extended for some gender. It could be like female, it could be transgender, or anyone. These kind of topics shouldn't rise, or this kind of a topic shouldn't come up. Like, if everything is normalized, we don't need to bother about anything. So we need
Yeah.
to it should be changed by, like, within ourselves. Like, I need to change, and I need to, like, start respecting. Protecting is the second one. Like, she can protect herself, like, if she is comfortable. But what I can do is, like, respect her, and, like, how I treat male, the same way if I treat the girl, it will be normalized. It's not like, if I, like, take care of women more, and, if I ignore the male also, it will be all also, like, discrimination. So I feel like, a society where everything is, like, normal, or, like, everything is equal, that is a society I dream of personally. So I just want to add that. And yeah, so as
Wait.
Yeah.
like so the,
So, okay, one last thing that I want to add is that I have
yeah.
written a small write-up on this, a
Yes.
small,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. So I just want to recite that. Okay, so every moment I see a man coming my way, I'm just wondering, will he say something dirty to me? Will he touch me? Will he curse me for being a woman? Will he smack me? And then that small moment of panic passes by with the stranger. We live in a world with constant fear.
Oh,
Yeah. Nice.
nice, 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 nice,
Nice.
nice,
Nice.
nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. So yeah, our last question I just wanted to randomly ask on is, like, as a occasion of Raksha Bandhan, like, on this occasion we are releasing our video. So can you, like, tell us what is Raksha Bandhan mean to you? How do you see that?
Yeah, I'm very happy that our video is being released on Raksha Bandhan. And the first word is Raksha, that means to protect. I mean, we female. I mean, we tie Rakhi to our brothers or sisters. I mean, the only meaning of Raksha Bandhan is that we trust you, and we want us to, and we want us, and we want us to protect you, and that's the reason we tie that thread of knot to our. We can tie that to our brothers, but it doesn't mean you can only tie that Rakhi to your brothers only. You can even tie
Yes.
that to your the person who
Sisters.
you trust. You can even tie that to your moms and sisters and your fathers, especially. You can even tie it to a friend whom you think that he is a brother image to you. I think that's the meaning of Raksha Bandhan. That means you will protect me, and I will also protect you in return. That's the meaning of Raksha Bandhan.
So
I
Sunaina.
think Raksha Bandhan is just a celebration of the bond. I don't really believe in protecting someone or someone trying to protect me. I think that shouldn't be there. That a specific occasion for that shouldn't be there. I mean, why are we even celebrating it in the first place if it
Exactly.
is for this reason? It should be just
Yeah.
for celebrating each other's bonds and for gifts and holidays, all that,
Yeah.
just for fun.
Ye-
So I wanted to add something from my side. So see, Raksha Bandhan. They say that, like, a girl, as you told, like, the girl or a sister ties racket to his brother to protect her. Okay, and the thing is, it means, like, she is scared of something or the other thing which she is asking her brother to protect from. Okay, so in this context, I don't feel like, to celebrate her fear as a Raksha Bandhan, as a festival also. Okay,
Yeah.
and we live in a society where every, like, these Raksha Bandhan, like, before it used to has value to it, but like, before last decade, it has, like, it has taken this stake to another level. They are using this Raksha Bandhan to get, like, to avoid the boys who don't like, who girls who don't like the boys, and they're using it, like, it's so they're making, like, like, they're taking off that
They're
value
making
of
fun of
Raksha.
it.
Yeah, like, it's not like, I personally didn't like it, like, and it's not good at all, I feel. So, and
Did
this
something
Raksha Bandhan
happen
has,
with you like that? Did
No,
something happen with you?
no, seriously. No,
Okay.
actually, I'm talking about the contradictory, because, like, we are celebrating a woman's, like, she's like, she's scared of something, and we are celebrating as a like, the like festival. It's like not good, I feel, in this society. So that's why I, like, personally, this tagline to it, like, protection, I don't like. Okay, we can say that, like, it's like, we are celebrating or enhancing the bond which we have, like, with the
Bond.
brother,
Yeah.
yeah, brother and sister. We can celebrate that way, but we shouldn't, I feel like, we should take off that protect word from this bandhan, so
Yeah.
that it will be more appropriate, I feel. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
yeah,
agree with
so
that.
Absolutely agree.
yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining the show, and I felt like, it was great talking to you, and thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Udit.
much for bringing us on this show. I mean, really, we
Exactly.
are honored.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
it's very great to speak on such a topic which is a sensitive issue. I think it's great to come out and speak on this topic on this YouTube channel of yours. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
Udit.
much.